All right. I switched to the non-recording side. So if you want to put your camera on, for those of you who are trying to keep a level of privacy with the recorded, that recording just is going to be sent out into 195 nations worldwide. I'm a TV show host on the Win Win Women Network, for those of you who are kind of curious what we're doing here. And it goes into Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, all kinds of cable channels. So it's women all around the world, and men, whoever watches it, are going to be able to see it and participate with it at their own time zone, since it goes all around the world. And that's why I know some people keep their video off for that, because it's going everywhere. But now this part is not. Whoever's in this room right now, you're the only people that can see and hear what's going on, because the recorder is off. We literally will not be sending. I'm going to take a picture so I know who we've got here for the giveaway that I'm doing. But I do want you to send me a text message and let me know that you want to be in the giveaway for a 30-minute reading. So those of you who want to be in the raffle, just send me a text to my phone number and say, please put me in the raffle for the 30-minute free reading. And my phone number, I'm sending it in the chat line right now, is 716-603-1767. So I'm hitting send. There you go. It's in there. So if you go into the chat line, you can grab my number, send me a text, let me know that you'd like to be in the raffle. And when the show is over, I will pick a winner and send you over your link to register for your reading. And there will be a coupon code that I give you, so that you literally do not have to pay the fee for the 30-minute reading. And then you can book your appointment, and it'll just be you and I, most likely having hot coffee or cold iced tea, depending on the weather of when you book it. Right now, it will definitely be hot coffee, because I'm in New York and I'm an hour and a half away from the Buffalo, New York region. So there's a lot of snow over here. Where are you guys from? I see all kinds of nice messages. I'm at work, so why shut my camera off? Oh, yes, I understand. We have a lot of people who have to keep their camera off because they're at work, and they still are right now. So I totally get it. Whoever can come on camera is great. Whoever cannot, I totally understand. No problem. But what I do want to do is offer the coaching and the conversation. Oh, good. I see everybody's. We got Oregon, Massachusetts, Chicago, Buffalo, Lexington, Massachusetts. Awesome. I love this. Okay. Now, in one word or less, well, we can't say or less. In one word, how would you say the biggest aha moment was for you for this confidence medicine that we did today? What was the biggest aha moment or revelation? If you could type that in one word into the chat line, what was it for you? I know that that's forcing your brain to summarize everything, but that's the whole idea, because it really is, your subconscious mind has to work and pull it all together and open up the neural pathways required for you to integrate the information. So by integrating everything that we did today, you own it. It's yours. It's your new MO, your new mode of operation. You move forward a badass, making shit happen and being super happy that you can easily do it. Okay, we've got feeding your spiritual health. We've got heart. We've got loved the piece about connecting to divine. Awesome. And perseverance. And she's glad that it's recording. Yeah. So that first part that was recording, it'll be usually, I think that the Win Win Women Network, which they're the producers of the show, we're just responsible to follow all their rules and hit all the right buttons. And mind you, I've been on a TV show host with them now for about 2.5 years almost. It's definitely past 2-year mark. And when I was brand new, I was so out of my ability to do all this technical stuff. You know, I was familiar with going to the TV studios and then you just follow certain parts, but you don't have to know how to have the right. And the first thing I did was get a report card back that I did not have a high definition camera. So I had to go buy one of those. Then I didn't have the right microphone. So I had to go get a new microphone. So it's been a big learning curve. Then I remember I got the report card that my background was too cluttered. So, of course, now I just have a virtual screen, because how can you make sure that every little detail is perfect in your background? Otherwise, like they literally sent me an email on what you were doing good on and what you're not doing good on. So I've really embraced it as media training, which has been incredible. And it's a whole different world than the media that I was familiar with years past on the shopping channel with my skincare and cosmetic company, where you basically had to have a little ear thing in your ear, and then the producer would talk to you and tell you to move over to the left or move over to the right. That's where I made friends with Joan Rivers, and we met, and she told me that having a niche in my industry was my ace in a hole. And she has a lot of books out on healing. I never knew that Joan Rivers was a healer, but if you get her book, Bouncing Back, that book, she lays out how she healed herself after her husband committed suicide and left her and her daughter without a dad. So like she teaches, and she's a totally different person than the swearing potty mouth, which now I'm a swearing potty mouth. Before I healed myself, I was like, I didn't let my real self out. I was always hiding and people pleasing. And, people pleasing does not help confidence at all. All it does is make you feel bad and everyone else around you, because everybody knows that you're not authentically being yourself anyway. They can feel that you're not fully genuine. So if I could say anything to you today, please stop. If you are, like, you might not be anymore. Like, who's no longer a people, who's on the team of, I am no longer a people pleaser. All right, good. Congratulations. Okay, because that just messes you up big time. It makes you abandon yourself. And then when we abandon ourselves, we feel horrible. And our inner self is like, hey, don't you love me? Because we're making sure everyone else is happy, and we're even forgetting ourselves. Sometimes we barely even remember to feed ourselves when we're in that place, but we're running around making sure everybody else has healthy food to eat, but then we don't even have healthy food to eat. Who's doing that right now? Who's guilty of that? I'm channeling, so there's got to be someone in here who isn't taking very good care of themselves, yet they're taking good care of everyone else. Okay, well, I know there's someone in here, but you're probably one of the people who's off screen. So take that message if it relates to you. And Eva says she'd like to hear more about feeding your spiritual health. Okay, good. That is a good question, and that would help everyone in the room, Eva. So thank you for asking that question. Okay, so there's tons of ways to feed your spiritual health. We could make a very long list, and that certainly would be able to take up our remaining time of 7 minutes for this get together today. And over the years, I have worked diligently to continue learning ways to bring my spiritual health the best, to treat myself the best I can, and to nurture the spiritual part. And I figured out through trial and error that if I forgot that part and only worked on my physical health, like, physical health is we're eating the right foods, we're drinking the right liquids, we're exercising, we're getting enough sleep, and we're doing movement. We might be taking certain homeopathic remedies or medicines, going to the doctor, going to the holistic practitioner, going to the chiropractor, all these different acupuncture. Those are all things that, acupuncture, they put needles into your physical body, right? Now, those are all good. The only thing is if you're not nurturing your spiritual health, they won't work fully all the way, because they can only do part of it. Because we are literally a body, mind, and spirit. Like, our whole being is a body, mind, and spirit. So I do not know that we could say that it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I've never really even asked Divine or done any research on, like, are we 1/3 body, 1/3 mind, 1/3 spirit? That's a nice question to ask. Mother Mary just came in and said that's irrelevant. Okay. She doesn't even want to answer that question. She said that it's going to mess up too many of our mathematical science oriented viewers. So she won't even give that answer, including me. She goes, you, Camille, would even be guilty of messing that up. Plus, you're a teacher. So if you even let any of that information out, it'll hurt people, not help them. So at the moment, we're not allowed to know. And I'm now asking, well, whenever we are allowed to know, if we are, please tell me. Okay, so I've got the order out to get that information if it's ever available. In the meantime, what I can tell you is this. So if we're taking care of our body, which is all the physical, and our mind, which we did a whole bunch of mind work today, because we were shifting our perspectives, we were adopting new attitudes, and then we integrated into our subconscious mind. I did a rapid induction of hypnosis for those of you who are like, that was the weirdest hypnosis session I've ever had. Now, that's because you haven't had a rapid induction activation hypnosis meditation all in a short period of time, which happens to be what is working on this level, plane, and dimension on planet Earth in 2025 with the vibration and the frequency that is going on currently. And the old long 1 hour things don't always relate to the human beings because we don't have enough time for that. Like, now, there are times when we do, where we've been able to plot out a 1 hour time, but majority of people will not even listen to the recording if I give them a 1 hour recording. So even the recordings that you're going to be getting from me are more like 10, 15, or 20 minutes because they get used. And if we don't use it, it isn't going to work. Okay, so just know you just had the updated current affairs relevant with this vibration and frequency on planet Earth in 2025, January, to be specific. Who knows what the hell will be going on in February? Our world is changing and shifting so much. That is why you want to follow my TV show and continue to come twice a month, because I will always bring you the most updated information, which is very helpful, I have found. Not that the stuff that is older doesn't work, but hey, I like to cut to the chase, get the stuff that's going to work the best, and move on and not have a lag of time, because I do have to admit or confess to you that I am still impatient, even though we're not supposed to be. Okay, I wouldn't even be on this planet if I was perfect, right? If I learned everything, I wouldn't be here, because we're here learning. All of us are upgrading. We're becoming our next best version of ourselves. So for me, certainly one of my things that I could improve upon is being more patient at times on certain things, and being more persevering and more enduring. Okay. And when I catch myself not doing that, if I'm not doing very well, I'll go, oh, here you are being impatient again. And you're starting to get angry because it's not going your way right away. Oh, well, that's not going to help, Camille. Now you're headed downward. And if you don't catch yourself before you wreck yourself, you're not going to like where you end up. So get your attitude on straight and get back up. So, Eva, to answer your question about spiritual health, the first thing would be to recognize that we're not just going to do stuff for our body and for our mind, but for our spirit. And then once we know we have to set the intention and do it, then we know what is it to do. So first, make it a point to do it. Second, I can give you a number of things. In fact, I could probably give you a list of 50 things that are recognized and acknowledged by the majority of people here on planet Earth. I can also tell you, Eva and everyone else in the room, that I have tried all of them and more, because I am one of those people who I'm stubborn, and that's a good thing and a bad thing, depending on what it's about. Stubborn that I'm going to figure it out and not give up. And that is how come I am still here. So the stubbornness is very helpful, but then we have to not be stubborn in the place of trying to force the timing and the order to be yours, instead of trusting and being understanding that divine timing and divine order is really pretty freaking great once we understand it. And sometimes we're not even allowed to understand it until we are allowed. right? And sometimes we don't even still know certain things. Like I definitely have a list of things I will have a fight with God about when I get to heaven. I have fights with God about it now on a daily basis at times. And then I tell myself, Camille, you're using your energy in the wrong place. Why argue with God on these things? Just get with the program and go with what you know you're supposed to be doing here. Stop being so argumentative, because that's going into this energy of controlling, right? And controlling is super outdated. That died with 2012, that vibration and frequency. And anybody who's still in that vibration and frequency is fastly dying. And what I mean by that is you're killing yourself off by being controlling. You usually will have severe back problems. You usually will end up with fibromyalgia, MS, cancer, heart disease. I'm not joking. I have a very big practice where we do body scans and theta brainwave healing techniques. And we are able to go in and find out through your Akashic records and through your soul as to what is going on and why you're not physically doing well. And one of the big things is being controlling. So you're going to just have to get over it if you are, and be more willing to allow life to unfold. Now, would I say that that's spiritual health? I would, Eva. It's not on the list of 50 of people who are, like the items that are recognized, but it is. If you know that that's part of living by faith and trusting in divine. Okay. Because the best way to nurture your spiritual health is to step into faith, trust in divine timing and divine order, and connect with divine daily. Ask God, however you want to address God. We're certainly not here to argue over who is God. I always speak authentically as far as where I'm coming from, but I invite everyone else to respect each other for our differences of opinion or whatever that is. Okay. Because we certainly aren't going to use the idea of spiritual health as a place or a platform to disagree. We're going to use it as a place or a platform to agree that we have to connect with divine and talk daily with divine. And for those of you who want to know where I'm coming from, I share that publicly on all the work that I do. And we just had a Mother Mary, the Miracles of Mother Mary Mastermind a few days ago. So you already know that I'm talking to Father, Mother, Holy Spirit, Jesus, and the whole 9 yards. Does that mean you have to? It does not mean that. It does not mean that you can't come into my classes if you don't agree with me. No, it does not mean that at all. So I will tell you, though, that you do have to figure out what you do want to believe and believe. Okay. You do have to believe something and something of divine. Like I have found that a majority of people are not where they want to be who have chosen not to believe. Now, some of them claim they are happy, and I am so happy for them that they are. And I am not here to judge. It is not me. I am not like the person in charge of figuring this stuff out. God is. I'm just passing along the messages. I'm a messenger of God because I choose to be. If you want to be, you can choose to be too. But I will say, number one, choose to be a believer. Number two, choose to walk on faith and trust in divine. Number three, accept that there is a divine order and a divine timing and choose to be good with it instead of fighting it and being mad about it. By the way, I've learned all this stuff by doing everything wrong. So please don't look at me like, oh, Camille thinks she's so smart. Camille thinks she's better than us. No, I do not. In fact, I wouldn't even be here teaching you if I wasn't still in probation. Remember, God puts us as a teacher once we've finally gotten with the program so we can teach others. That's also so that we make sure we integrate and remind ourselves daily. So I say that, we're on probation because now we have to teach a whole bunch of people to make sure that we spread the seed around of understanding. We spread around that, the get with it plan, I guess is what I should call it. And make sure that we continue to integrate it, because as a teacher, we have to remember, okay, what am I supposed to be teaching? And then stay focused on it. Okay, so what number was I on? Eva, I know you're writing notes right now. Did I just give you number 3 or 4? 4? Okay, so number 5 is, in my best opinion, is journal the messages that you get from Divine when you do your 10-minute check-in every day or your 1-hour check-in once a week. Now, the reason why we journal it is because when we do handwriting, by the way, do it with handwriting, at least even if you have to print, because I know cursive isn't being taught anymore. So depending on how old you are, that depends on whether you know cursive handwriting or printing, or if you got a tutor and had tutoring for cursive handwriting, even though they didn't teach it in grammar school. It crosses into your subconscious mind, and it integrates and weaves into your neural pathways when you write down the notes. That's why it's best to journal in handwriting instead of typing it into your device. Okay. If you really, really want it to integrate into your fiber of your being and make it your new MO, you're definitely going to be handwriting it. Even if it's drawing pictures, because I mean, I have clients that have dyslexia and or dysgraphia, where they can't really do wonderful handwriting, but you can draw pictures of what it means to you, even if it's just scribbles like circles or whatnot, whatever, something that means, or maybe you're going to get your colors out and paint, who knows, but get it into an artistic expression of some form. And handwriting is an artistic expression. So that it is going to become the new program running through your subconscious mind, which is 95% of our mind, by the way. So yes, I do mix spirituality with the mindset training, because I believe that when we pray, which is talking to God, and meditate, which is listening to God. So definitely put that on your list. I think we're on number 6 by now. Pray and meditate daily. And I do believe that that goes right along with checking in with Divine for guidance. Like, you can do all that at the same time. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. There are ways that do work better, though. And I do teach that in my academy. In the course, the Psychic Medium Development Workshop, the 3-day workshop. If you've signed up for that, you're already printing out the prayer, and the meditation is in the 12-step proven formula of how to do a reading and a healing. So you can like print it out and read the script and follow it. Okay. So if you're doing that with the praying, talking to God, the meditation, listening to God, most of us screw up the meditation of listening to God part. Like, we do a lot of talking, blah, 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 but then we don't get quiet and listen and receive. And it is a feminine energy that is good at listening and receiving. So a lot of us women have to get better at stepping into our feminine energy of listening and receiving. And by the way, men sometimes are better at it than women. They're in their feminine more than we are. And then that's how our relationships kind of get wonky if we don't understand how to do the dance of the feminine and the masculine energy, whether and that has nothing to do with what your sexual organs are or whatnot. It's not about that. It's about the energy that you are working within. And it's good to have both and to know how to do the tango. And when the masculine is a giver energy and a go-getter, giver and go-getter, and the feminine is a listen and receive. And so a lot of us women are in the giver and go-getter mode because it's been like kind of required in order to like make money, keep a roof over our head, pay our bills, eat food, things like that. But don't forget that we have to blend that with the feminine energy as well and be able to receive and listen. Because if we don't receive and listen as well, the giver and go-getter will wear out and not have any energy left and kind of collapse and be drained. So we do have to have that circle of energy and not just have a half a circle. A half circle is if you're only doing one or the other, like you're only doing more feminine or more masculine. That's a half of a circle. But when you do both and you know how to do the dance, then you have a full, complete circle. And now your energy will go up, your confidence, your health, your wealth, everything will go up when you're doing full circles. So when I say working on your spiritual health, I would also say work on balancing your divine masculine and your divine feminine as well. These are things that are probably not on the top list of 50 that are acceptable. Although, no, I think the prayer and meditation definitely is on the top list. But I have given you a few that might have not made that list if you Google it, unless they've been, well, now with AI, it might be on there because they're reading everybody's websites. So it could end up being on there now. So it's good. Our world is, we're getting with it. We have a lot more work to do, of course. But those would be my top biggest ways to improve your spiritual health. And it's all under self-care. Okay. But if you're not connecting with divine, if you're not a believer, then you're really just not knocking it out of the park. Yes, you can connect with Mother Nature. And I love hiking, biking. I love swimming. I like going and sitting by the ocean. And that does help me to feel closer to God. So yes, that's all part of spiritual health, but not if you don't even choose to believe in God or connect and talk to God. You're kind of like missing the boat. I mean, I was in a class where someone told us to pray to the whales. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm sure it works, but it's like a diluted version of what you could get if you just talk to God. Like it's a pathway there. It's kind of like, to me, since I've tried it all, I found out personally, it was a detour on the way to where I needed to go. And it kind of took me off track. And I got lost on the detour. And then I was really messed up and my life was going down the shithole fast. So I decided no more detours. And it's about intention and what you believe. So now when I go out into Mother Nature and I sit on my favorite rock or on the beach and sit by my favorite ocean, what I know is I'm connecting with divine, but I'm talking to God and listening to God while I'm there on the beach. Okay. I'm not talking to the whales, although I can. And I will say, hey, good to see all you mammals. And like, I will bless and say, sending out love to all the animals, all the water, all the rocks, all the people, of course, sending out love to everybody and everything. But at the end of the day, I know that my creator, my source, the light that because we're all a light of God, right? We are all the light of God. And we're all part of one light, God, right? So as being part of one light, God, I decided to go straight to God instead of all these detours, because when I did, my life got way better, way faster. And I didn't end up on these sidetracks that were very destructive, devastating, and caused a lot of wreckage in my body, mind, and spirit, in my health, wellness, confidence, social relationships, finances, money. All of that gets messed up when you're not going direct to source, direct to creator. I figured out one day, I'm like, geez, when we buy a cell phone, it comes with this little instructions manual, and you can go online and read the instructions, or you can read the paper that it comes with. If they even come with paper anymore, they might not, who knows. But you read the instructions, and then you find out how to program your phone and how to unprogram your phone, because you can delete apps and then you can upload new apps, right? And it says all that in there. And that's why when I was in my prayer time, really trying to figure things out 10 years ago, Divine told me to go and get trained in hypnosis. And I was like, what? I thought that was Antichrist. And it's like, nope, it's not. It's actually training you how to program your mind for the positive and the attitude of gratitude. And I didn't realize that I needed that training to stay positive and to focus on that which is of praiseworthy. I mean, you could read it in the Bible if you want to, but are you going to do it? Because it says right in the Bible, focus on that which is praiseworthy, that which is positive. but I wasn't doing very good at it. So going to hypnosis training taught me how to do it. And somehow the scientific stuff sold me on the idea of doing it. And then this lovely man came and had a session done and then reminded me how I learned all this in my in the Bible and in the Roman Catholic training. And I said, yes, I did learn it, but somehow I didn't do it. But now with this, I do. So thank God something got me to do what I needed to do. And that's why I train on this stuff in my academy. So that we can, get with the program and do what we need to do. And we do have a certification course for becoming a certified consulting hypnotist, which I do believe is that you're getting trained on how to program your mind to think positive and believe and have faith and have trust and to stay the course and to not give up and to have a perseverance and an endurance and to not get off track and go back to negative world being a negative Nelly, right? Because that is not going to help us. And hypnosis and NLP teaches us that. So I did need all that extra training for me to get good at what it does teach us how to do in the Bible. And you know what? I figured a lot of other people could benefit from that training. And that's why I started my academy. And it has proven to be true because we have a lot of people turning their lives around, transforming, creating confidence, health, wealth, and joy with the training. So I do invite you to come join us. I did give you a huge channel on how to improve your spiritual health as a result of Eva's question. So thank you, Eva. And hopefully you've all texted me, those of you who want to win a 30-minute reading, because I will be putting you into the raffle. So one last call out in case you want to win the 30-minute reading with me. That's private one-on-one. Just send me over a text and say, put me into the raffle, please. And then I will be doing the raffle right after we hang up from the interactive session. And in the meantime, although you can easily go to my website and hit TV show, CamilleConti.com, and then hit the TV show, you'll see all the show dates and all the show the topics. I will remind you that our next topic and show is on Thursday, January 30th. It's always a Thursday, January 30th. It's always at 11 a.m. because that's my time slot at the Win-Win Women Network. And the topic is Heal Your Love Life. So join us. We can't wait to see you then. And hopefully you have signed up if you feel like you're ready, willing, and able to go on your journey of getting really good with your divine guidance. Hopefully you have signed up for our Psychic Medium Development Workshop. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to text me as well at that same number. If you're curious about anything that we talked about today, feel free to text me. I might refer you to having a session with me, so don't be mad at me if I do, because I will not be talking to all of you for hours and hours on end because I have to take care of myself. So if you reach out to me, I'm going to tell you what you need from me to get the answer. I'm not just going to do free readings all day long because then how would I have a healthy life? How would I take care of myself? So be ready to pay something for what you're asking for, please, other than your 30-minute free reading for the person who's going to win that today. And I'm putting my number in one more time to make sure that you can text me to get into the raffle. I love you guys. Thank you for being a part of our soul sisterhood. We definitely have a growing community of soul sisters where we're really doing a lot of work to make the world a kinder place, a more loving place, a more peaceful place. And we're spreading around God's love and light and healing and making transformations in the world by doing it for ourselves first and then helping others. So we hope that you join us on a regular basis. Come to all of our shows. And when you feel ready, dive in and take a course or a workshop. We do have a metaphysical anxiety healing workshop for free coming up. And it's the beginner level. And then we're going to have a paid intermediate and advanced level available too. So watch for that. It'll come in the messaging that we're going to be sending out. So just stay tuned with what we email and text out. Join our community if you haven't already, because that's how you'll get our emails and our text messages. And we'll see you next time. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Woo! Go kick ass and take no prisoners.